Jesus said, "But I say to you that listen, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. If anyone strikes you on the cheek, offer the other also. And from anyone who takes away your coat, do not withhold even your shirt. Give to everyone who begs from you, and if anyone takes away your goods, do not ask for them again. Do to others as you would have them do to you. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. If you lend to those from whom you hope to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love your enemies. Do good and lend, expecting nothing in return. Your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, for he is kind to the ungrateful and the wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful." This is the gospel of our Lord. So I have something to tell you that happened in our house the other day. I was taking clothes out of the dryer, and guess what was all over my pants? Little bits of Kleenex. Yep. I'm sure many of you have experienced that exasperating moment, and the worst part is knowing that you could have done something about it, right? All it would have taken was to quickly go through the pockets of the pants before tossing them in the wash. But you want to know why I didn't check first? It's embarrassing, really. The reason I didn't check is because they were my clothes. When I'm washing the kids' clothes, I always check the pockets. But I don't always check my pockets because I figure my pockets must be empty. Because every evening, one of my rituals is to empty my pockets. So I just assumed I had done that with these pants, surely. So I tossed them in, never even checked. Obviously, I should have checked because I'd forgotten to take something out of there. Our pockets are convenient places to put things that we want to hang on to until we get somewhere that we can keep it safe, or to keep things that we may need when we're out and about, like a Kleenex. And we ladies oftentimes carry purses for such purposes as well, but if we don't have a purse handy, a pocket will do. Now, I'm going to share with you, I've been able to attend just a few of the women's Bible studies this summer, and it's been a pleasure to attend those for the ones I have been able to. And one thing that we do at the end of each of the studies is we receive a gift. Except that it's not a real gift, it's imaginary. It's a pretend something or other. One week it was a baseball, so we all had this pretend baseball we took with us. One week it was a trowel. One week it was trail mix. And so this morning, I want each of you to receive a gift in a similar manner. Okay, so I want you to do something for me. I know Chris doesn't usually ask you to do things, but I'm going to today. Okay, I want you to cup your hands like this, like you're holding something. Okay, like you're holding water. Now I want you to take a look in your hands. Do you see anything there? Not yet, right? It's empty so far. Well, I want you to know there is something there. In your hands, this is your faith, okay, that you're holding. And I want you to, ladies, if you want, put it in your purse or put it in your pocket right now. You should put your faith there in your pocket. Okay? And I want you to take it home with you. Now, don't forget to empty your pockets tonight because you don't want your faith going through the wash and getting all over your clothes. I want you to take it out of your pocket when you get home tonight, set it where it will be protected and safe. And then tomorrow, when you're getting ready for the day, I want you to pick it back up, put it back in your pocket, so it'll be with you wherever you go. Okay? Can you do that? Okay. Every day. Yes, do it every day. Thank you. Yes, see, because your faith is meant to go with you into your everyday life. It's meant to influence your actions and your words. It's meant to influence how you treat others, how you talk about others, and how you view the world. It's meant to be the one thing that can make a difference in your life and in the lives of people around you. It's also meant to be the one thing that can enable you to make a difference in the larger world. But if we forget our faith, and we forget to take it out of our pocket and it goes through the wash, or if we just leave it lay on the nightstand in the morning when we leave for the day, then it doesn't serve much purpose. If it's just faith lying there on the shelf, then we need to understand that, as James said, is true. Faith without works is dead. If it's just lying on our nightstand as we go out the door in the morning. In other words, if our faith is not influencing our actions and our words and thoughts every day, then what's the point of having it at all? It's not only meant to be something that we say we possess. It's meant to be something that we could take out of our pockets at any time and say, because of my faith, I can do that. Or because of my faith, I won't say that. You know, sometimes carrying our faith with us wherever we go can actually be a scary thing. And if you don't believe that it can be a scary thing, I'm going to have the kids come up now and we're going to demonstrate to you how it can be a little nerve-wracking to carry this faith with you wherever you go in your daily life. So I'd like to invite the kids to come up now. Just so you know, we are going to be popping them, okay? So if you don't like to pop balloons, you don't have to, okay? I'm just letting you know right now. That's what we're going to be doing, okay? There's a reason. I don't know about you, but when I'm watching the kids play this game, it makes me go like this. I'm just waiting for the balloons to pop, right? Okay, let's go. Go ahead and pop your balloons. Go ahead. Go ahead. I want you to pop your balloons. You got to sit on them. You got to sit on them. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's see who can pop them first. Good job. Okay. Oh, okay. Anyone? Can you get them? Can you guys get them? There we go. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Okay, now you might be wondering why did we do this little example? Because when you're about to pop a balloon, you know, you kind of make this face like, oh, you're a little afraid of what's going to happen because you don't exactly know when it's going to pop, right? And so you might hold it out like, oh. And, okay, when I'm talking about why carrying your faith with you into your everyday life can be a little bit of a scary thing, there's a book that I read that actually gave me the same kind of feeling as when you're trying to pop a balloon, like, oh, I don't know when that's going to happen. And that might sound strange, that a book would give you that same kind of feeling as popping a balloon, but I'm going to explain why. I'll get to that. But this is the book, and it's called The Hole in Our Gospel. Is anyone familiar with this book? Has anyone seen it? Okay. Okay, so maybe you know why it made me feel that way. Okay, so I'll get to that. The book's written by the CEO of World Vision, which is a charitable Christian organization that provides aid for people throughout the world. It's one of the largest and most successful organizations of its kind. From the moment I read a review of the book, I read a review of this book in a magazine, and I thought, I've got to read this book. And it took me a while, but I finally received the book as a gift. I finally got the book, but then I thought, uh-oh, what have I done? Because all of a sudden I had that same feeling as when you're trying to pop a balloon. It's like, I don't know if I want to read this now. And I read it tentatively like that, sort of like this, like I was afraid something was going to jump out of it at me. I wasn't exactly sure when something was going to happen, and I wasn't exactly sure if I was prepared for whatever might happen when it did happen. From the time I picked up the book until I started on page 1 was about a week, actually. First, I read the cover. I thought, okay, I can do that much. I read the title, The Whole Inner Gospel. There's a little introductory question that's part of the title. It says, what does God expect of us? Ooh. And I'm like, oh, the whole inner gospel. Ooh, the answer that changed my life and might just change the world. And then I read the author's name, Richard Stearns, President, World Vision, U.S., and then I set the book down. I thought, that's as much as I can read for now. I was afraid the balloon was going to pop in my hands. The next day, I picked it back up again. I thought, I can do this. I read the front flap and the back flap. And I read the back flap again, and then I put it down, and that was all I could do. And the next day, I read the 6 pages of endorsements, written by everyone from Max Lucado to Bono to Madeleine Albright. And then I read the acknowledgments. I know, I don't always read the acknowledgments in books. In fact, I don't think I ever have before or since. But I figured in the acknowledgments, God may speak to me. I thought, what kind of person influences someone like this who wrote this book? I mean, he's inspirational. Someone inspired him. Let's see who those people were. So I read the acknowledgments. Finally, I started on page 1, the introduction. And it didn't take long for the balloon to burst right there in my hands and me to feel the burden of a challenge. But an exciting one, and one that God would never give to any of us without the promise of helping us through it. And by page 5, I feel like I was changed. And I've read books like this before, over the years and in my life. But you never know, once you open yourself up to certain things, when it might grab a hold of you and really change you in that moment. And I'm going to read to you the part where it happened. So this is me popping the balloon now. So if you don't want to risk it grabbing hold of your heart, just think about something else for a little while, okay? Like what you're going to have for lunch later, or a project waiting for you in the basement, because you never know when something might grab a hold of you if you're paying too close attention, right? Okay. This is what the author, Rich Stearns, wrote. You might imagine the author of a book challenging you to respond to the great needs of the poorest people in our world, an author who, in fact, leads a large global humanitarian organization that feeds the hungry, assists disaster victims, and cares for widows and orphans across the planet, to be some kind of spiritual hero or saint. You might even be inclined to think of me as a Mother Teresa in a business suit. But if you have any of those impressions, you are sorely mistaken. Let me clear that up right at the outset. I, too, have had a lifelong battle trying to walk the talk. I am certainly no saint or hero, and I never set out to save the world. I didn't have that kind of courage or imagination. I was the most reluctant recruit to this cause, in many ways, a coward. But as you read a little more about my story, my hope is that you'll learn from my mistakes and laugh a little at my failures. That God still chooses to use flawed human beings like me is both astonishing and encouraging. And if he can use me, he can use you. Now, you might think it's strange that I was reading the book so tentatively, but the reason is because most books are written to convey ideas. And ideas have the potential to change you when you least expect them to. Especially ideas that are rooted in the Christian faith. Especially ideas that are rooted in challenging us to take our Christian faith off our nightstand and put it in our pocket and take it with us into our everyday lives, influencing our choices and priorities. I figured this would be one of those kinds of books, and it didn't take long for the balloon to pop and me to feel that message. And that's okay, because I'm supposed to. Sometimes I don't want to feel the burden of a challenge, such as the author of this book places before any who would take the time to read it. Sometimes I'm too tired or too busy to feel I can be useful in his call and me to take part in his mission. Sometimes I feel that way about Jesus too, even. Maybe you do too. Maybe you feel too tired or too busy to feel you can be useful in his call to take part in his mission. But it is our burden. But even more than that, it's our gift. We have been given this faith for a reason. And that reason is to continue doing the work that Jesus started when he came to earth, to carry on his mission after he ascended into heaven. This faith is yours to hold. But not only for you to hold you, to effect a change in you, to cause you to do something different, something that before letting your faith influence what you would do, you might have thought silly or naive or maybe impractical or uncomfortable. But then an idea is presented to you, and in an instant, or possibly gradually over time, you become changed in such a way that maybe you resemble the following statement, which says, faith and works should travel side by side, step answering to step, like the legs of men walking. First faith, then works, and then faith again, and then works again, until they can scarcely distinguish which is the one and which is the other. So don't forget now. Remember, you put that faith in your pocket. It's there. Remember? It'll go with you today. Take it out of your pocket tonight so it doesn't risk going through the wash. And tomorrow morning, don't forget to pick it back up again, put it in your pocket. Let it influence your life. Amen.